Good afternoon, my name is Diego Arias and I will share with you the portfolio requirements for NextEra Energy Resources. NextEra Energy Resources is the American subsidiary of NextEra Energy, formerly known as Florida Power and Light. It is the largest generator in North America of renewable energy from wind and sun. 95% of its electricity capacity comes from natural gas and renewable energy resources. It has invested $11 billion in its wind business. It operates the world's largest solar power park, the solar electric generating systems in the California Mojave Desert. NextEra has been a leader in community programs, advocating and educating on action to address climate change. In its operation, NextEra has a culture of safety, health and wellness, continuous improvement and community involvement. This is a map of the portfolio of NextEra Energy Resources power generation stations. NextEra Energy Resources has a presence in all the regions of the United States. The portfolio of projects include wind turbines located almost all over the country, natural gas combined power plants in the East Coast and in the Gulf of Mexico, concentrated solar power systems in the Mojave Desert, a couple of oil power plants, a few nuclear power plants, and several hydroelectric projects in the northeastern part of the country. Looking at the installed generation capacity measured in gigawatts, the picture shows a dominance of wind with 7.6 gigawatts. Natural gas is a close second with 6.7 gigawatts. Although there are only a few nuclear power plants, they account for 2.5 gigawatts. The other sources have a much smaller share, with less than a gigawatt for oil and a smaller contribution for hydro and solar. With this scenario, we have determined 5 requirements for the portfolio of future R&D projects. The first requirement is to continue exploring proven technologies. NextEra Energy Resources is an independent power producer. It operates in the electricity generation market, which is very risk-adverse. The expansion of NextEra Energy Resources has followed products that have already been proven technically and economically. For example, NextEra purchased the single largest solar power system, known as the Solar Energy Generating Systems, in the Mojave Desert. This technology has 20 years of operational history. NextEra Energy Resources follows the practices of its parent company, NextEra Energy, which has annual revenues of $15 billion. Continuing with this financial responsibility will allow NextEra to finance projects on its balance sheet. This will be a clear market advantage in the current situation of difficulties that other project developers are facing trying to finance new projects. In this trend of exploring proven technologies, NextEra should keep an eye on technologies like geothermal power plants and biofuel energy stations. These are systems that have left the labs and are starting their commercial life. The second requirement is to balance the portfolio of renewable energy sources. The current list of projects shows a big share of wind and natural gas. This reliance on 2 sources may become a weakness in the future. Although natural gas produces less carbon dioxide per unit of energy than coal, climate change concerns may increase prices of fossil fuels in the future, and being too heavy on a single renewable energy source creates the risk of intermittent electricity production. In the future, a balance of renewable energy sources has the potential of balancing the availability of resources at different times of day, producing a more uniform output. Therefore, the diversification of sources must continue. The chart on the right shows a hypothetical future balance of projects in which solar and nuclear have a bigger share. Although NextEra Energy Resources is a large power producer, there are fundamental infrastructure projects that may be too large for it to develop alone. The third requirement is to develop strategic partnerships in areas such as the development of required infrastructure, needed for future growth of its business. A clear example is the need for a new system of electricity transmission lines. The development of this infrastructure will help several businesses of NextEra, such as wind and solar. As an example of the potential strategic partnerships, Google and other investors have expressed the plans to spend $5 billion in the development of an underwater electric grid which will connect offshore wind farms. NextEra Energy Resources must be part of these developments in industry consortiums and industry groups in order to develop very large capabilities needed for its future growth. The fourth requirement is to continue driving the business from an operational excellence value strategy. The electricity market is driven by cost and reliability, with little space for product innovation and customer intimacy. NextEra Energy Resources' strategic approach is based on continuing the search for cost reductions with certainty for the end user. All that the end user wants is to have electricity available when it is needed. The portfolio of projects must continue towards cost reductions at the same time that it does not conflict with reliability. The projects must guarantee that the plants are operated safely and reliably. The last requirement is to get closer to the end user. The business of NextEra Energy Resources is to sell electricity to local utilities. Few end users know or care from where their electricity is coming. In order to take advantage of the potential benefit from empowered customers, more aware of the needs for energy efficiency and low-carbon electricity sources, NextEra Energy Resources must increase public awareness on climate change, energy security, pollution, and additional benefits of renewable energy sources. In addition to increasing the power of final buyers, this educational campaign will help develop the future workforce of scientists and engineers. These pictures are part of the Solar Decathlon, a solar energy event in which college students develop energy-efficient houses. NextEra must be present at this event as a sponsor, leader, and example for the public. In conclusion, 5 requirements are presented for the future's R&D portfolio. Continue exploring proven technologies. Balance the mix of renewable energy sources. Develop strategic partnerships in critical areas. Continue the operational excellency strategy. And develop programs to get closer to the end user. Thank you very much.